morning, everybody. Welcome back to another beautiful, beautiful day. The second day of the golden age is here. We are in the golden age, Deacon. It's starting right now, and it's going to go for 4, perhaps 12 years.
This was a legendary election. Let me move my screen. I don't like looking at it over here. I like looking at it over here.
Dave. Good morning, sir.
What's up, dude?
I'm gonna have to, hold on. I got to refresh.
He's got to get his other camera working. I told Ashley last night that I said, doesn't it? We were standing there making dinner, and I think making dinner, but I said, doesn't it feel like that a weight's been lifted off your shoulders? Like, doesn't it? I mean, yeah, it's really, I was asking her. I was like, doesn't it feel like, that whole day yesterday, I was just kind of, I felt like there was a little bit of hope on the horizon now, instead of me always having to worry about something.
The thing is, imagine a wave, a sign form wave, right? And you're now feeling like optimism and hope, right? And had it gone the other way, you would have felt like, oh man, this is not good for us. Now, imagine.
I'm going to make me moderator, and while you're doing this, I'm just going to bring up what you're talking about. So
So get a visual.
You can get a visual of what he's talking about. He's talking about a sine wave.
Yeah. Kind of like that.
This is
black and white, brown and black.
Yeah,
that's right. The commercial. So you go down all the way.
Yeah.
And you can see.
There you go.
See how it
now this is a great example. So right now, like you're at I'm gonna just don't even go out any farther. Like that's good. Like right there in the middle of the screen where it just kind of goes up a little bit, and you're like optimistic. You're feeling good. I was
trying to find a better spot where you can see it.
Well, we don't see. That's my point. The more exaggerated you get, we'll get to the exaggeration in just a second. So go back in. That's good. That's good. So that's above the red line, and it's positive, and it's like feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty optimistic about our economy, about the direction of our leaders, about the direction of our Senate. Like some good things can get done. Now, if it had gone the other way, you would be a little low, a little bit below the red line, and you would be like, these things are just not the way right there. Okay. Not the way now that is in contrast and it's not a 1-to-1 contrast against the people that feel bad right now. Cause there's people that after the result, they feel bad. They feel so much worse. They literally think the apocalypse is happening right now, the end of the world, that Satan and the Antichrist and I'd like imagine every other cartoon figure that you can that has been elected to the president. The world is over. We are.
So let me hop in on that comment.
Sure.
2008, when Obama first ran for president. That was 2008, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yes.
No, it was later than that. Whatever the first year was.
That up yesterday.
I was in I was in Virginia, and I lived in the corner of Virginia where Tennessee, Kentucky, and Virginia all touch, and I lived in the Appalachian Mountains. And I remember somebody from church telling me, "You can't vote for Obama; he's the Antichrist."
I've heard that so many times.
And I backed up the comment because okay, hey, you're all Christians, right? If Obama is the Antichrist, what happens next? According to your theology here, Jesus returns. So who are you voting for in the election? A vote for the Antichrist is a vote for the return of Christ. As far as, no, I didn't vote for Obama, but the whole, we got to prevent the apocalypse. No. If there's an apocalypse, man, lean into it because that means things are about to get a lot better.
Learn to swim.
You know what? Yeah. Here's the thing. I'm not done paying for my mortgage yet, and I've just got barely some investments in. So I know. Look, I'm all for the return of Christ, 100%.
But sure you are.
Between now and vacation planned next year, and I can't get the deposit back on that sucker.
That's literally true. We just booked
things might get a little bit better,
we just booked a vacation for the spring break. So, like, you know what I mean. Like,
I think things might get
Yeah,
a little bit better with
guess-
Christ return.
yes. I guess my point is, like, right now we're feeling kind of like positive, but the people that feel negative feel way more
Yeah,
negative.
they do.
The
They do.
reason they feel way more negative is because they have an already present chemical imbalance in their brain, coupled with not being educated properly. I'm not going to call them low IQ people, although statistically most of them are lower IQ
A lot of these people
people.
are very
But
educated.
they're yes, but very educated doesn't mean there used to be a saying that, and you could name these people in school. Oh, so and so is super smart, straight A's, honor roll all the time, but they don't have the common sense to get in out of the damn rain. You know, most very educated people don't have common sense, but most very educated people, not all of them, but most, you can dupe them pretty easily.
I mean, you can say very educated, and that is exactly the same thing as very brainwashed. I'm sorry, it is. You have a concentration of information from a single source, college, fine. Then, the things they believe they know. Here, okay, ladies, folks, like, I don't want to be like bagging on our opposition. They're not our opposition; they're our countrymen, right?
Yep.
But they have some reconciliation to do with this simple fact. They think they are right and good, and everything they believe is true. And more than half of the country voted against them. So they either have to reconcile with, like, you've been lied to and some of your ideas are not good, or they have to believe that more than half the country is evil and hates them.
It's not half the country. Half the country voted. Only
more
half
than
the
half
country
the country
voted.
that votes. You know what?
As
far as this is concerned, the other half of the country doesn't matter or care or count. They don't matter.
Well,
you don't vote, you don't matter.
Back to your kids.
My kid, I vote for my kids. I voted for my kids.
I
voted for a.
But what you said was, you don't vote, you don't matter.
Well, you're splitting hairs.
I mean, in the context of how we establish government and rule our country, if you don't vote, you don't matter.
Dave, you're cracking me up.
Hey,
let's talk.
That was a good one.
Let's talk about some. So I guess I just wanted to say, like our sine wave is up and down is kind of mild, and theirs, if they had one, my gosh, they would you would have thought Jesus came back for real. But
how long of that YouTube video did you watch of the reactions? It was posted.
I don't know.
I don't know who posted it. I think Deke posted it, or Brian.
I've seen a.
Did you see what AVX posted?
Oh, hey, AV.
I feel attacked.
I feel attacked with that statement.
You don't vote, you don't matter. That JJ.
Dude, AV, man, I told you for months, go vote. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you about it.
I didn't vote. I didn't vote in some of those presidential elections. I didn't.
Hold on. If you believe that the 2020 election was straight up fair and legitimate, and it was like, okay, I'm going to go with it. Like, there was no cheating in 2020. If you believe that, then Democrats, you have to explain why 16 million Democrats didn't go vote yesterday or Tuesday. Yeah, that's not my fault. We went and voted.
So this was posted in our memes channel, and I started looking it up because I thought it was so grand. And I started looking it up, but trying to find these 2024 numbers was becoming complicated because of the way Google's algorithm and crap is. So I didn't have time to actually look. But this came up in the memes channel, and it says, 2004, 121 million, 8, 129, 12, 126, 16, 128, 2020, 155. And so far in 2024, it's 129. So these numbers, I asked ChatGPT to generate me a list of these, and it searched 5 different websites, and it came back with numbers that were very similar to these numbers right here. But this number was not present. And I could not.
And that number's not done yet.
Yeah, it's not done yet. So I went to Google and was trying to look, and I could not find that number from all of the garbage that they throw at you.
Just add up the 2 numbers.
If y'all can find it quicker, I would like to know. But I just
Arizona isn't done voting yet. You know,
right, but
like
you're not going to find 16 million votes between those 2, are you?
Right. Yeah, and it's probably closer to 13 million or 12 million. But like California isn't done voting yet. Arizona, these states have trouble counting. Florida was done within 3 hours of the deadline.
Those damn states don't even count absentee ballots or whatnot until whatever, Arizona or one of them. Right.
Now,
so Florida had it done in 45 minutes.
So we deserve some forensics on the election and to look carefully about how things what happened and who did what. We deserve to have some analysis of this, but we can't do that yet until all the votes are in and counted, and then we have some numbers.
The votes that are counted right now, it's 140,607,977. I just added.
So. Yeah.
Trump's votes and Harris's votes. And I did not add the other votes that are there.
Right. So yeah, there may have been, it may have been that a lot of those votes shifted red. That might have happened. We don't really know yet. So that's all I'm saying is that we can't really look at, especially charts and graphs and pictures and be like, look here, see, this proves it. Nothing's proven anything right now.
That's why I was looking up the trying to find the numbers.
If I add in, I'm going to add in Jill Stein's, Robert Kennedy, Chase Oliver, and other candidate votes, and I think it's going to be around 142.
I'm seeing 72 million Trump
now because
million.
When I saw that, I initially thought, man, they got freaking 16 million more votes. That's not right. But if our numbers are closer to 145 or so,
I'm at 142.
10 million fake votes is probably more feasible.
Currently, Decision Desk officially they finally have called Arizona, right? So like all states have been called, they're not all done counting, and the tally is 73 million versus 68 million. But when I mean, the thing that looks funny is that, you know, Joe Biden had 81 million. So, you know, Kamala Harris has lost 14 million votes here. 13 million votes. So it's like, where's that at? And that's a question that we're going to have to like continue to prod and poke and make fun of for months to come. But let's talk about some other stuff. Check this out. So people have been having reactions to the election, as you would expect, including some of the advocates for Kamala Harris, like Cardi B. And Cardi B says, this is why some of y'all states getting hurricanes. Cardi B, an advocate for Kamala Harris, just blamed hurricanes on people voting Republican.
Well, that's why Illinois doesn't get hurricanes.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with the fact that they're not anywhere near the Gulf.
You know, Kentucky's red, and let me tell you, the hurricanes that we get, it's just like 2 inches of rain, maybe.
Yeah, it's your fault.
I don't know whether to believe Cardi or not. Is she a
she's a celebrity, so she knows things.
How far into meteorology school did she get? Is she a meteorologist? Because I honestly don't know. I've never looked her up on Wikipedia.
I don't know exactly how familiar she is with weather, but I do know that she is familiar with some things being dry and other things being wet. I know that. She said,
I threw up. Don't.
This is why some of y'all states be getting hurricanes. Let's see. She posted an Instagram video as Trump appeared poised for victory. I just hope that no matter what happens tonight, millions of American people are proud are proud of her. Women around the world are proud of her. Women of color are proud of her. Okay. All right.
You know, even the village idiots get rich sometimes. You know, you act.
Speaking of
stupid.
village idiots.
This one's sad too because he's a Kentucky guy.
Democrats rage at George
Cincinnati
Clooney for
guy,
pushing
right?
Biden out of
Yeah.
following Trump's blowout victory. It's all his fault. They don't. Why can't they just be like, Kamala was not a good candidate? That wasn't a good way to go. Instead, they have to point the finger and blame somebody. They have to blame
JJ, the celebrities and the famous people are a part of they are one of the tentacles of the giant squid monster, along with the politicians and everything. So if one of the tentacles gets damaged, the other tentacles are going to complain about it.
Yeah.
They're all a part of the giant squid monster.
Yeah. George Clooney is being attacked by despairing fans in the wake of Vice President Kamala Harris's humiliating defeat in the 2024 election after the actor demanded Joe Biden step aside in her favor. Now, I don't remember that George said that Harris should run instead of Joe. I think he was just saying Joe ain't there. Joe is clocked out. So that's not my recollection of events.
The only George Clooney. Are you smoking?
Go ahead.
The only George Clooney movie that I would actually go back and watch again right now is Men Who Stare at Goats.
That's a pretty good movie.
That's a great movie.
You always tell me to go watch Inglourious Bastards.
That's a good one. He's not in that.
I still haven't seen. Is he? I thought he was.
No, that's Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt.
Oh yeah, the other guy. He looks like George
absolutely
Clooney.
Should watch Inglourious Bastards. So you wouldn't revisit Batman and Robin?
No one should revisit Batman and Robin.
Really?
Yeah. No.
Guys.
No.
Okay.
No. So I read a fascinating book on Batman, like geekdom and everything, and it dealt a big chunk with that particular movie and how Christopher Columbus, I think, was the director of it. Or no, it was Schumacher.
Schumacher.
Yeah. How much he wanted a potentially gay Batman. And so I was just like, like everything he said in there. I'm like, oh, these are all quotes. This is
wow. Okay. Let's see.
I didn't
We've
even
got
care about Nips. Didn't like the movie.
Oh, nipples. You're saying
Nips.
nipples. So in addition to Donald Trump and Kamala Harris being on the ticket, there were some constitutional measures in some states. And I thought this was some good news. So check this out. Constitutional amendments to ban non-citizens from voting pass in every state where they were proposed. So a majority of voters in Idaho, Iowa, Kentucky, Missouri, North Carolina, Oklahoma, South Carolina, and Wisconsin passed constitutional amendments prohibiting non-citizens from voting. Those opposed to the amendments.
Which states again?
Idaho, Iowa, Kentucky, Missouri, North Carolina, Oklahoma, South Carolina, and Wisconsin. They all had constitutional amendments on the ballot.
We had two measures on the ballot. Amendment 2 was the one that they were really trying to push hard, and that was the one that got the most attention in Kentucky. And Amendment 2 would have allowed government funds to go to private schools as well to give students more of a choice and whatnot. And then so that was a big argument in Kentucky. That did not pass. And this was the other one that I was surprised about until I looked at it at the ballot box and reading the ballot. And I was like, what is this one? And I read the whole thing. And then I had to read the whole thing again because it was pretty long. It went to the next column.
Right.
And I had to read the whole thing again to make sure I was voting on the right thing. I was like, okay, because the way it was worded at the top. And
Right.
and I was like, okay, so yes, I was glad that they just
Yeah.
added a sentence. They added a sentence in 2 parts.
Yeah, we had a big discussion about this in my house because my wife and I read it differently,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
my
okay.
It
daughter is
sounded
in.
differently the way that it was worded at the top.
Yes,
Let me
my
see if I can
daughter is
find it.
doing KYA, which is Kentucky Youth Assembly, this weekend. She leaves today for
Yep.
that, so she goes to Frankfurt and learns about laws and tries to pass bills and everything. And she was just like, I don't get this. Why it's a bad law? I'm like, they really do need to redefine idiots and insane people.
Yeah, that does
That's
need to be
horrible.
redefined.
So,
here is how.
do you
Here is
view
Well,
it as an
it-
omnibus?
hold on.
You voted for
For-
all this, or just that amendment? And I'm like,
For those
you're just
listening,
addendum.
Kentucky has a legal standard of what is an idiot, right? So it's not
Yes.
just a
No,
it's not just a
I don't think we have a
derogatory
standard.
slur.
We have
Yeah.
a word. There is no standard
But
to it.
it is a word with legal empowerment. It is not just it's not just
Yes.
calling someone a word. It means something in Kentucky, though you can argue about what it means,
I
but
think it meant
it
something in Kentucky.
Yeah.
meant
years ago.
something.
Mhm.
All right. Well, I mean, so anyway, I think this is
So-
good news. Not allowing. Did you find the sample ballot? If yours-
Constitutional Amendment 1. Are you in favor of amending sections 145 and 155 of the Constitution of Kentucky to prohibit persons who are not citizens of the United States from being allowed to vote in the Commonwealth of Kentucky as stated below? It is proposed that the section of 145 of the Constitution of Kentucky be amended to read as follows. Every citizen of the United States of the age of 18 who has been resided. This is all what was in there. But they add
Paragraph 4.
no person who
change
is right
that.
here. No person who is not a citizen of the United States shall be allowed to vote in the state. And then it goes through the following
It's double
persons.
negative.
Yeah,
Isn't
that's
that a
what I thought. That's exactly what I thought.
Why didn't they just say
No
only
person
US
who is
citizens?
not a citizen of the United States. And I was like, wait a
Yeah.
minute. Let me read that again. No person who is not a citizen of the United States shall be allowed to vote in the state. It sounds it's correct, but
Yeah.
you're right. They should have used a different. I don't know. It sounds weird.
They should have just said non-citizens can't vote in Kentucky.
If y'all
then-
don't live here,
Y'all.
get the hell out.
Non-citizens can't vote.
And then there was
Y'all.
the amendment too.
Yeah,
Y'all
yeah, yeah.
non-citizens.
Y'all non-citizens. Okay, so this morning I saw this,
Oh,
and then
where'd they go?
AVX also posted it. Oh, he
Oh,
left. Oh, AV.
No, I hit the
AV,
wrong
I'm not
button.
real mad at you. I'm not real mad at you.
AV had a question earlier in the show that I wanted to ask if you had seen this once we got into the news. Yo,
Yeah,
J.
that's what I'm, yeah.
So have you seen any of that? Putin's
Yeah,
supposed to make an
so-
announcement?
So I have this. Harris call from Jack Posobiec. I saw that this morning. I saw it like immediately, right as soon as AV brought it up. Jack Posobiec posted this. A Newsweek headline: Hamas calls for immediate end to war after Trump election win. Now, from the
Wait a
headline,
minute.
yeah,
What now?
I'm trying to
Hamas.
find that article.
I got it right
there
here.
it is. Okay, as I say, it's just a screenshot, but I found it.
Yeah. So I have the
Oh,
actual article. Here we go.
Yeah, let's
Hamas.
read this.
So now the headline implies one thing, but let's dig in because I don't think it means what you think it means. Hamas calls for immediate end to war after Trump election win. Now, the headline message that you get from that is like Trump's win is so big that Hamas, that
They
Israel
feel
is at war
threatened.
with, is like, we quit.
Yeah,
You
they
scroll
feel
down to the
threatened.
bottom, and there's the click on the meter to rate this article. Mine is showing that it is very left.
Yeah, you don't have to go very far. Listen, a senior Hamas official has called for an immediate end to Israel's war against the group in the Gaza Strip and a plan to achieve a Palestinian statehood. In remarks shared with Newsweek in the wake of the victory, let me read this without giggling. The election of Trump as the 47th president of the USA is a private matter for the Americans, but Palestinians look forward to an immediate cessation of the aggression against our people, especially in Gaza, and look for assistance in achieving the legitimate rights, freedoms, independence, and establishment of their own independent, self-governing state with Jerusalem as its capital. So Gaza is not saying we quit. We say we look forward to the end of the war when we get all of this territory and we get Jerusalem. So
but that first sentence basically implies that they were all sitting around drinking their tea, and one of them was like, "Do you think we should quit?" That's what it sounds like.
That word,
that
second part of the sentence there that you have highlighted, or the very first word that you have highlighted. But whenever you see "but" in a sentence, or whenever you hear it, everything that was just said, not true.
Not true.
That's true.
Not true.
Yeah. But means everything I just said doesn't matter. It doesn't count. For instance, if I was like, Deacon, I think you're very handsome, but you need to work on your social skills.
But you need to do something about that dent in your skull.
Yeah.
So
I used to work with a guy that would go, no offense, but hold up. Then don't say whatever you're fixing to say. Just shut up.
This is exactly the kind of headline framing that is why news media, legacy news media, is considered like propaganda or disinformation or not straight up information, because they frame things in a way that most people would interpret it one way. And it's technically true, but that is not what the Hamas guy was saying. The Hamas guy was saying, we want Israel and we want Jerusalem, and we're looking forward to getting it. Give it to us now.
And there's like a couple of different tactics that have been used in this article. The headline tactic for number one, because how many people are going to actually peruse that headline? Out of 100% of the people that see this headline, how many are going to peruse? Let's be conservative, or let's be generous and give them 70% that are actually going to peruse the headline. Now scan down to that first paragraph that you read. All right.
Yeah.
Let me read this. All right. A senior Hamas official has called for an immediate end to Israel's war against the Gaza plan soon. And that's as far as probably about 50% of people get. And then you've got, 20% of these people left that they're reading it and they're like us. A senior Hamas official has called for the end of Israel's war against the group and gun. Wait a minute. What did that say? The election of Trump is wait a minute. So he's how many people are actually going to do that?
Yeah. Who got this far into the sentence?
And we want Jerusalem. And realized what he was saying.
Yeah. Like we want all that territory. We want Jerusalem. It's ours. Give it to us now. So
it's a great tactic because they can go on and have this whole thing scrolling down. And I've even done it before. I'm like, I'm not reading all this shit,
Yeah. So now
half of the article is just regurgitating the same crap in a different way so they can get a longer article.
I'm certainly no fan of Hamas, but I don't blame a Hamas press secretary for trying to spin stuff his way.
No.
You kind of would expect them to do that.
KJP
was that Hamas press secretary?
Well, I don't know.
Who gets the credit for that article?
An official.
I think
you're not letting the thugs on the ground.
Is Abdul Jean Pierre is the Hamas secretary.
Oh my gosh, no.
This article is by Tom O'Connor, senior writer, foreign policy deputy editor.
Yeah, but it just said Hamas official. It didn't give a name.
Oh yeah, yes. But the Hamas official didn't write the article.
Oh no, Hamas political bureau member and spokesperson Bassem Naim.
Jean Pierre.
So Bassem Naim was just doing his job, trying to win a war.
Who is going to be Trump's press secretary this term?
I hope they keep Corinne. Wouldn't that just be torture?
Hold on. Wait.
Double her salary and make her stand up there and
what if
say
he hires
good
Joe
stuff
Rogan as his press
him.
secretary?
No, Joe ain't got time for that.
Dude,
but I did see a I think it was a nomination. Let me see if it was for press secretary. Hang on.
Wouldn't that be hilarious if he tripled Corinne Jean-Pierre's salary to make her stay up there to say good stuff about him for 4 years, I would watch every
wouldn't do it.
freaking press
wouldn't
secretary.
do it.
I would watch every one of them.
It's taken me a minute
You're
to
getting
find
fuzzy,
that.
too.
Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is.
Yeah, you are getting fuzzy. Oh,
Here
the
we
ads
go.
must have loaded,
So-
Dave.
I
You
need
went
to close
fuzzy and then you went
Here we go.
clear.
Check this out. Right here. Oh, Laura Logan,
Oh my God.
Roseanne Barr for press secretary.
That's
And
flipping.
Roseanne said, okay, I will do it. Roseanne's awesome. If you guys are not following Roseanne on X, you should.
She's the
awesome.
greatest. I've got an actual freaking here on my homepage of my phone. I've got a link to her podcast to the webpage so I can go to listen to her podcast and stuff. I love her. They were talking one day on something that she said not too long ago, and I was like, Roseanne is our mom. She's like she's like the mom she's the mom, man. She'll give you love, but she'll whoop your ass if you're wrong. There was just something that she said about that thing yesterday that you posted about the Gen X stuff.
Roseanne's colorful. I'll say that much for you. She and she ain't taking no shit either.
No, she don't. She's old and she's put up with crap. She's put up with more crap than you really know unless you listen to her podcast.
Look at this. Department of Health 2020. Department of Health 2024. That's RFK Jr. 70 years old and ripped. Ripped. Yeah. So Roseanne's funny. All right. That's all my stuff that I had in here, but I know you guys had some other stuff.
Oh, yeah. I had some stuff. Hang on. I was looking up Roseanne.
So while he's looking that up, I tried to log in yesterday. I had a breakfast meeting and I was going to be in the car for an hour. And it sends me to a Rumble Studio app, which I have installed.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't accept my login. I tried my personal one and I tried my Sinister Minister one, and neither of them would work. So I might have to set up a Rumble Studio account.
I suggest
my Rumble
LastPass or a password manager.
I just use the same password for everything, and I seem to
stop
log on.
telling people to do that.
I don't do that though. I don't do
people
that.
like you that give the NSA access to everything.
If the NSA wants to log in and see how I'm formatting my Dungeons and Dragons books and seeing the crap that I'm making with AI, I really don't care. I'm telling you right now, it's a waste of time.
Oh,
you could be focusing on somebody else. All right, I got a story for you.
I think I don't know. Okay, go ahead.
No, what were you going to say?
I'm gonna look for it because I'm gonna have to dig for it because I posted it yesterday or the day before, but it was a video and I saw it and I was like, oh, this makes everything make more sense. But I'll find it in a minute.
All right, here you go.
The left-wing gender insanity being pushed on our children is an act of
I don't know if this
child
is AI
abuse.
or not.
Very simple. Here's my plan to stop the chemical, physical, and emotional mutilation of our youth. On day one, I will revoke Joe Biden's cruel policies on so-called gender-affirming care. Ridiculous. I will sign a new executive order instructing every federal agency to cease all programs that promote the concept of sex and gender transition at any age. I will then ask Congress to permanently stop federal taxpayer dollars from being used to promote or pay for these procedures and pass a law prohibiting child sexual mutilation in all 50 states. It'll go very quickly. Furthermore, I will support the creation of a private right of action for victims to sue doctors who have unforgivably performed these procedures on minor children. The Department of Justice will investigate Big Pharma and the big hospital networks to determine whether they have deliberately covered up horrific long-term side effects of sex transitions in order to get rich at the expense of vulnerable patients, in this case, very vulnerable. I will ask Congress to pass a bill establishing that the only genders recognized by the United States government are male and female, and they are assigned at birth. Under my leadership, this madness will end, Thank you very much.
Now,
So
I'm
think
pretty certain it's AI, but I think
Yeah.
this is this could be a brilliant political thing. Let's
Mhm.
make an AI video of me saying something and see how it's received. And if it's not received, it is AI.
Yeah.
And if it's received well, nope, that was legit.
Oh yeah, hey, that's a
you
good
can-
idea
You
actually.
can tell by the he's fuzzy and this is clear.
Yeah,
And
right.
he's got a hair right here. There's a hair shine right here. It's just like one hair.
That
And
might be the painting.
No,
behind him.
I watched it through the whole thing.
Okay.
It never moves. It always stays in that same angle. But as he moves his head, it moves.
Oh, does it
But
really?
yeah, like if you'll
Yeah. Okay.
see,
So we're
you
playing
can see it
we're
there,
playing
right
fake
there.
videos here on the show.
And then, well, I wanted to get. I mean, it gives a good discussion. You know, this immediately comes out. This throws out all this stuff. It sounds like him. It looks like him. If you're not paying attention to all this stuff, you would think that he
So,
put this out.
when-
So
This
it
will
goes back to
inflame
what we were
people.
talking about at the beginning with all of these
Yeah.
people. There's people that are going to believe all of this crap that comes out like this.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. So I wasn't looking at it when you started playing, but I was listening and I heard audio cuts.
Yeah, but they do that with everything now, and you're so
Yeah.
used to it with your ears. I used to not do that in radio, and this is actually something that I had a problem with social media and TikTok and Facebook and all these little shorts that people make because they do hard cuts. And
Yeah.
I was never taught to do hard cuts. I always made smooth transitions from one thing into the next. And they do these hard cuts, and it always had a problem with it.
Right.
But everybody does it now, so you don't even notice it.
So let's do another video. This before I play it, ladies and gentlemen, this is AI. This is AI, or at least it's been changed by AI. But I think it makes it more true. Look at this. Listen to this.
If the Democrats fail, it might be the end of American bureaucracy.
Our bureaucracy really is in fundamental peril.
The foundations of American bureaucracy under attack. They want to destroy our bureaucracy.
We are a bureaucracy in danger.
We're watching an election where people are on the ballot openly advocating the end of bureaucracy.
That's what Republicans are doing, attacking bureaucracy, attempting to destroy bureaucracy, and they're doing it with glee.
This is the end of bureaucracy in America.
When will America stop sleepwalking towards the end of bureaucracy?
Right. It's Democrats versus, as Bill Kristol says, the end of bureaucracy.
We are essentially, as Neil put it, one vote away from sort of the end of bureaucracy as we know it.
I think our bureaucracy and the stability of that bureaucracy is really the thing on the ballot and really so important.
So,
All right. So what happened there?
To explain to our viewers out there what's going on. Every time they said bureaucracy, they actually said democracy.
Right.
And they changed it from AI to let you see exactly what they really mean. And if you don't know what bureaucracy means, it's like authority.
Well, it's the unelected. It is bureaucrats are unelected government employees. They are appointed, and they have they're little petty tyrants that get to interpret the administrative state rules, but they are not elected and they're not accountable to the people.
Yeah, Britannica defines bureaucracy as a hierarchical. Say that word; it's hard for me to say.
Hierarchical.
There you go. Organizational system categorized by formalized rules and procedures. A division of labor, permanence, professional management, hierarchical. I don't like that word. That's worse than rural. Hierarchical. Say it again.
Say hierarchy. Say
hierarchy.
Okay, you can say it. So hierarchical.
There you go. See, you almost hierarchy.
No. I was breaking it down for you.
That's one I'm going to have to practice. There's been words I've had to practice over the years. That's one that never comes up. Hierarchical. Hierarchical. I don't like that.
He sells seashells down by the sea shore.
Hierarchical.
There you go.
Okay.
I don't like that.
Hierarchical. I think you have trouble with the R's.
I got to hold my mind. I don't like the archical. Hierarchical.
Hierarchical. Hey, I got a note. I got an alert from YouTube that our video from a couple days ago was banned globally. Video is blocked. No, it's from yesterday. Yeah, our video Trump won is blocked due to a copyright claim. We played that Comedy Central clip. It was less than a minute I played of Jon Stewart talking about pollsters are full of shit, and that blocked our the video.
Of course, because John Jon Stewart is a dweeb. He's a very well-spoken and very articulate dweeb.
He's an intelligent dweeb.
He's a
Which
very
is why it's
articulate dweeb.
So important for you, if you guys are hanging out with us a little bit, give us a chance, subscribe, leave a comment, but also go to rumble.com.
Go to Rumble.
Please.
Go to Rumble.
Where videos are not banned. If you, I don't know, make jokes or observe reality.
Read news stories.
Yeah.
YouTube's banned us in the past for reading a news story.
I think I have one more story here.
I do have another story for you.
Speaking of social media, YouTube, Rumble, etc.
Are you
Australia?
Okay. I started to say, are you going off politics? But you're not yet.
No, not really. Just going international. Check this out.
All right.
Australia is proposing a ban on social media for those under 16. So Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese announced a proposed ban on social media for children under 16, describing it as a world-leading policy. So no kids under 16 should have access to social media. What do you just think of the concept right off the top of your head?
I love the concept, but you're going to teach kids to break the rules.
Yep.
And they get away with it. They're going to get away with it, and they're going to think that they can get away with other stuff later.
Don't touch the pan.
Listen,
the pan's hot, or the preacher's daughter.
You guys are so pessimistic. We already have bans about kids not being able to smoke, and so they don't smoke, and not drink, so they don't drink, and not drive without a license, so they don't do that.
Your kids are still in elementary school.
Do you know how many kids? Do you know the vaping problem now is so much worse than smoking because you can do it anywhere?
We had a 21-year-old die in our community from vaping. Their lungs collapsed.
Oh wow! Oh my God!
There was a girl in our marching band years ago that would have seizures all the time, and we really had to watch her because she would have seizures all the time. And I knew her parents, and I saw her parents out, and we were talking about it one day, and they said that they had traced it back to vaping. The vaping was causing her seizures. They told her the vaping is causing your seizures, and she didn't stop vaping. She was sneaking it. And because she was continuing to have seizures, and they're like, she's got to be vaping. She was sneaking it.
What do you do about that? What do you really do about that? You can pass a bunch of laws and you can say policies and stuff, but you can't stop people from being stupid.
You try to educate them, and you're not going to ban all of them because, I mean, you are going to have rebels always, but you educate them on, hey, this is why. And you don't try to educate kids the way that we're sitting here having this conversation now. You've got to not talk to them like they're kids. Okay, now, but you've got to talk to them on their level. You know, because kids can't understand these complex crap that we're sitting here talking about.
Yeah.
They don't know why you're banning it. You're just saying you can't use this, and they're thinking, oh, it must be bad or what. And you need to explain. Look, the reason we don't want you using this is because it can affect the way that you grow up. That we found out we haven't had this for a long time. Mommy and Daddy didn't have this when we were kids. So now we have this, and we're seeing that it's affecting you. So we just want you to wait. We'll have other things for you to do. You're not missing out on anything. If you want me to post pictures of you and little smiley face, there's all kinds of ways to get around this.
So there isn't a law necessarily in the U.S., but like Facebook, Meta, any Meta brand, Instagram, Threads, all those, minimum age is 13. I have known kids as young as 10 to have Meta or have Meta accounts. Discord, I've known. I think my kid had an account at 8.
So over in the
it's against their rules.
Over on the other server, we would have those people that come in and say, you know, they would say their age, I'm 12 or something like that, and we would have to ban them. You know, it wasn't that they've done anything wrong; it was that they were going to get us in trouble.
I can't tell any difference, so I'm taking you at your word, and then ban.
You're going to get us in
Sometimes
trouble.
they were joking, but it's true. So yeah, the I don't know.
I think my son was 10
look,
when we gave him Discord.
parents should not let their kids have social media. Parents
That's right.
should not let their kids have cell phones or tablets, but they are, and the reason they are is because parents are working a job or two jobs, and they're barely spending time with their kids, and they're not, they can't govern their kids because we live in a country that requires two incomes to pay rent. So, so single income mom or
Some
single
parents
parent.
don't know how to connect to their kids either.
Yeah, look, for sure, there are people out there that have children,
lot.
and those people are terrible people, and they can't.
Well,
they're
they're not
covering
terrible
their
people.
kids
They
at all.
just have no clue how to connect to their kids because they have no clue what's
They
going on.
aren't. A lot of people are terrible people. A lot of people are, and those people also have kids.
More optimistic. Yes, it doesn't take a lot to have a kid.
It does not. It does
Takes a
not.
lot to raise a kid.
Sure
Yeah.
does. All
And
right.
sometimes
What do
people
we
go
got?
in the
We got
same
anything
line.
else?
I got a piece of advice, that something that I completely overlooked from the election. Listen to
What's
this
that?
fine gentleman here as he explains. It's just 30 seconds.
I think it's so ironic how liberal women and women who voted for Kamala are saying that for the next 4 years, they're not going to sleep with another man. I find it so ironic because at least then you won't need an abortion. Took you Donald Trump to get in office for you to stop being a whore. See, things are already starting to change for the better.
Damn! That same comment was made when Trump beat Hillary. Man, Trump likes to beat up on women.
He's kept
Not as
both
much as
women
Doug
from being
Emhoff.
out of the White House. Did you hear that?
Where's my no comment sign?
Wow.
All right, I stole that joke. Okay. Are we ready for jokes? Let's do jokes.
Oh,
You want to do
crap, I don't
jokes?
have any jokes.
I just had one.
I'll go
Let me
first. Yeah.
mention
Oh,
this real
you got
quick
another
while y'all
one?
get jokes ready, because this is a science story. This is kind of cool. Y'all know tardigrades, the water bears. Little tardigrades.
Yes.
Aren't they
Yeah.
fascinating? That we sent them up to
Yeah.
space and they kind of died, and we brought them back down, and they didn't die. They came back to
Yeah.
life. So
Right.
they have been studying these tardigrades now, and they have found some really cool stuff. And I'm not going to get all the way into it, but this article is really, really interesting. I'll post it over on the Discord server. But they have found out why these tardigrades can endure all these high radiation levels. And there's 3 little different mechanisms on these things.
Okay. What is it?
Well, that's what it goes into the mechanisms like in detail on these, but one of them, it's like different bacterias and proteins that they have that basically protect their DNA. And they have this one protein that gets released when the radiation is around and whatnot. One of them, like this one right here, is a pigment, is a powerful antitoxin. And this other one completely repairs. I can't find it because it's formatted differently on my phone, but it completely repairs broken DNA, like double broken. The helix was completely broken, and they have this that goes in and completely fixes the DNA, and they can survive all this different radiation. So NASA, of course, has been working on this to try to get people for space flight, because of all the different radiations that are found in space. So this is really cool. They found this. I'll post this over there because it's a long article, and it's really interesting because it does go into detail about what they found. And I'll post it over in the news drops section.
So it's only a matter of time before the Chinese inject tardigrade DNA into their super soldiers.
Sounds like it.
There's the whole Star Trek Discovery, I think, was their whole. No, that was the Mycel network. They had a tardigrade beast. It like got radiated or something and grew, and it was a big, basically monster they were trying to fight that was basically a tardigrade. So it could adapt to anything, and they were having a hard time killing it. So yeah, the tardigrades are really interesting. I watch this guy on TikTok when I'm flipping through. He'll be doing live sometimes, and he just shows a microscope, the inside of his microscope. and he gets little water droplets from ponds and stuff. And almost always he'll find a tardigrade, and you can sit there and watch the little thing swim around while he talks about it. It's pretty cool. But he's probably, Chinese influencer and trying to influence my mind with the
trust it.
terrible Chinese TikTok stuff.
All right. Joke time. We end the show every day with a hilarious joke. Here's my
We're all in a hilarious mood to get into jokes here. All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Please remember that the shovel was a groundbreaking invention.
Oh, come on.
That's all you got? All right, I'll go political. Where does a politician go to hear the will of the people?
I don't know. Where does he go?
An echo chamber.
Magic.
I don't really get it, actually.
You talk in an echo chamber, and the echo just keeps going around, and that's where he hears the will of the people. He's just hearing his own.
Oh, because he's gotcha.
It's the echo chamber. Okay.
Okay.
If you have to explain, stop it. I had to explain it.
Y'all are making this really easy on me this morning. Jeez. So we had a silent auction and chili supper for the bands last weekend.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I actually won a couple of things at the silent auction. Yeah,
Really?
I won a dog whistle and 2 mimes. You see, JJ, because it's a silent auction, and I won a dog whistle and 2 mimes.
All right. I'm not getting it this morning. I have to be honest. I really have to pee. So we need to end this show. Bye, everybody.
Because a dog whistle.
Politicians and talking heads lying left and right. You can help us bring facts into the light. Don't let your daughter lose her next swim meet to a psychopath dude with fake teeth. Essay for a comment, he said no. Watch now, the internet dad show. Subscribe quick, the squid monster's on the way. Inspire with us tomorrow's news today. Oh yeah.
Because it was a silent auction. Get it? Silent?